Hey there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, April 17th, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to give a big shout out to those of you who shared my video last week and all my new subscribers. I had more views and more new subscriptions this last week than I've had since I started this project almost 2 years, well, actually a little over 2 years ago. So I've been a professional psychic for 34 years. In private session, I do readings with astrology and tarot. I'm a medium, a channel, and an empath. And then I also do past life regressions and rebirthings, psychic development instruction, and house clearings. So if you're interested in getting with me for a private session, I'll put my contact information below here, my email and my website. So please reach out. Always happy to extend a sliding scale fee as well. So just let me know if you want to take advantage of that. That's always open. All right. So as usual, I'm going to talk about the transits for this week, and then I'll do mini readings for all 12 signs. And I suggest you look at your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign. And if you don't know this information, you can go yourself to astro.com, astro.com, plug in your birth date, your time of birth, and your place of birth. You can register for free on that website, and then you can generate a chart and know what your rising and your moon sign is. Or if that feels too overwhelming, email me your birth date, time and place of birth, and I'll be happy to give you the courtesy of sending you a copy of your chart. If you want me to interpret the chart, that'll be, creating a session for a reading with me, but I'm happy to just offer to send you your chart if you do not know your time of birth. If you do not know your time of birth, then you won't be able to generate a chart that gives you your rising sign or your exact moon sign. That's why the timing is so critical. And yeah, the exact time is important. Like if it's 7:03, don't say 7, say 7:03 a.m. or p.m., of course. So a little bit about that. Oh, I also wanted to give a shout out to Carol Davila, who designed these earrings with her Francesca di Madonna jewelry line. And so I'll put the contact information, her Facebook page for her jewelry below. And then this cute top and this howlite necklace came from Marigold Gateway to India, which is a lovely, my favorite shop on the planet. It's here in Austin, Texas on South Lamar. Marigold Gateway to India, all Indian import things. They also have an online, so you can shop online, even if you don't live here in Austin. But if you do live here in town, I would really highly recommend that you pop in there. They have all kinds of lovely things beyond clothes and jewelry. They have tapestries and, cushions and saris and all kinds of really wonderful things that came from India. So anyway, that's a little plug on my jewelry and clothing. Makeup by Mary Kay and my girlfriend Midori, who I have been getting makeup from for a couple of decades now. So she turned me on to Mary Kay Cosmetics and skincare line a long time ago. And so my beautiful look, courtesy of Mary Kay. All right, there's that. All right, so let's start in with the transits for this week. It's been intensive. You've been feeling it, right? So we had the full moon on Saturday. So we feel transits ahead of time, and we also feel them afterwards. Of course, when they're exactly conjunct or exactly trine or exactly opposite or sextile or whatever the exactness is, we feel it intensely. I, as a psychic, usually feel transits ahead of time. I'll feel like, wow, like sometimes days or weeks in advance, and then sometimes there's residual, kind of like a astro hangover after the effects. So we're still in the wake of the full moon, and the full moon was in Libra. It was in the last degrees of Libra, which meant the sun was in Aries. So there's always an opposition in the full moon, and full moons are about things coming to fruition, coming to culmination, endings, letting go of things is a full moon thing. And then this full moon was square right after it was full. It squared off with Pluto, which is death and transformation. So it was more potent and powerful than usual. So Libra is about relationships. It's ruled by Venus. It's also the balancing of the scales, fairness and justice. And Pluto in the last degrees of Capricorn can often be about top-down power struggles, people with the good old boys network or who have power and control over other people raising their head or showing up. And that's been really exaggerated and showing up. I've seen Pluto show up in every one of my clients' charts recently. It's just been a big player, and people have been going, what the F has been going on in the skies? Pluto is a big player right now. It's moving towards stationing retrograde. It'll go retrograde on the 29th of April, so next week. But we're already feeling this as any outer planet moves more slowly. So when they're gearing up to turn a different direction, it's like trying to turn the Titanic around, and it ramps up in its normal power, whatever it usually is influencing, and gets even more intensive here before it shifts to turn retrograde. Pluto, unlike the personal planets, when they go retrograde, we feel the personal planets when they go retrograde, it feels like slaps in the face. Pluto is more about affecting all of us. And depending on where it shows up in your chart, it can feel personal, especially if it's interacting with any of your personal planets. But when it goes retrograde, it's almost like, wow, it's a lift off of intensity, because Pluto is like dredging up new areas, like digging up the dirt. It's like the lord of the underworld, right? Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio is the deep, dark waters, and it's about hidden secrets and power and transformation and change. So it's a potent planet. Anytime there's an interaction with Pluto, you're going to feel change. Pluto is like a wrecking ball. It's like dropping a hand grenade at your feet. It will change you. So depending on where Pluto is, it's in Capricorn, depending on where Capricorn is in your chart, these last degrees, you'll be feeling the effects strongly in this area of your life. So, but with the full moon squaring off with Pluto, it was really bringing to a head power and control issues in relationships of all kinds, right? And so that maybe have been your theme over the weekend. You can let me know if that was. Power struggles, anyone? Have you felt? And you could be the one having a power struggle with someone else, right? You could be the one wanting to have power control over a situation and having to let go of that. So, and the Pluto theme continues this week, because right now, as I'm recording this, the sun is at 28 degrees of Aries. So it's just moved to that. Pluto is at 28 degrees and 33 minutes of Capricorn. So the sun is squaring with Pluto, starting the square now tonight, and then into tomorrow, Monday, we'll really be feeling the intensity of the sun in Aries squaring with Pluto. This is like the sun, which is like life, and then Pluto, which can be death, and they're squaring off, coming to a head. So they're like vying for power, right? The sun and Pluto. The sun is the center of our galaxy here, and Pluto is the very last planet. Even though it's been demoted as a planet by astronomers, it's still a major player in astrology. So we're feeling this Pluto square the sun. So Pluto square the full moon. Full moons are intensive all by themselves. And now we're feeling the Pluto squaring the sun. So if things have felt super intensive, or you feel like you're being forced to change, let go of control, up against a power struggle in your life, you can look at these players with Pluto as to the reasons why. But like when it goes retrograde on the 29th, it actually will feel like, a little bit of lift off. So, but it's ramping up until that point, still creeping slowly forward in the skies until it stops and then turns retrograde. Right now, all the planets are still direct. So when Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th, it'll be the first planet that's going retrograde. So also what we're feeling ahead of time, beyond this Pluto turning around, we'll have a solar eclipse in Taurus on the 30th. We feel eclipses often a month ahead of time and like 6 months after. So we're already in the eclipse season here. So eclipses are portal points. People come into your life and people exit your life around eclipses. So you may already have felt new people coming in or people in your life exiting, whether that's they're crossing over exiting or whether they're just like leaving your life, or you're saying no more of this. I'm not going to keep tending this friendship, this connection, this relationship. So this shift in power, something with the sun squaring Pluto, there's a shift in the power dynamics, right? So somewhere where someone else has felt powerless, they feel full of power, because this Aries sun is about the ego, right? The last decan of Aries is about where are we moving our energy towards the future. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. Also, what happens with the sun in these last degrees of Aries is people with unresolved anger issues can be splatting it all over the place, like really loose cannon, especially because we just had the full moon as well. So that brings out the crazy in people. Lunatic, you heard of this word? Luna. And so we're having the sun moves through the last degrees of Aries, right? So this can be also people that are tied to their ego, and with this power struggle with Pluto, like they could be forced to kind of let go of it. And so people don't usually let go of their ego willingly unless you're on a conscious spiritual path, in which case you're like, yes, remove this ego from me, let me connect with my higher self. So plugging into spiritual practices and tapping into your higher self is the way to navigate these intensive transits. Also intensive for the backdrop for a while now has been Saturn, which is right now is at 23 degrees, squaring. Squares are challenges, the north and south node. Now, right now, the nodes are at 22 degrees. So they're a degree off, but they're close enough to still feel it. And we've been feeling this for a while because Saturn's been kind of stationary at this degree. The nodes were at 23, unlike the rest of the planets that move into greater degrees, the nodes move backwards, right? So the north node at 22 degrees of Taurus is like we're all in class collectively learning lessons of what the last decan of Taurus. Taurus is about value creation, about are you valuing yourself? Are the people in your life valuing you? Do you feel worth it, right? It's also rules the second house in astrology, which is our physical body and how we feed ourselves, how we clothe ourselves. It's an earth sign, so it's very grounded. It's ruled by Venus, so it's like, who loves me? Am I loving myself? So we're learning the lessons of valuing ourselves, self-care. That's one of the energies with the North Node. Now, squaring off with Saturn, Saturn is about creating structure and boundaries. And wherever Saturn is interacting with a point or a planet, it's hard work is involved, like time and effort needs to be applied. Saturn does not move quickly, and it's, it can be on lockdown, shut down. In a positive way, it can be how we say no, how we set up boundaries, how we structure our life. So in this square, it's bringing up the need to set boundaries in our life with people who aren't showing that they value us, with ourselves. In ways, are we showing that we value ourselves? Are you taking good care of your physical body, your temple, right? And so needing to set boundaries around how you feed yourself, how you move your body, daily routine things can be showing up with this square. On the other side, the square with the south node being at 22 degrees of Scorpio. Again, Scorpio is the deep, dark waters, right? So it's ruled by Pluto. It's about death and transformation. It's about letting go. The South Node's about letting go collectively, everyone on the planet, about old karmic patterns, letting go of deep, dark secrets, right? So again, the square to Saturn is like, where do we set boundaries around letting go of things? Is it time to let go of certain relationships in our lives? Is it time to let go of certain behaviors and patterns in terms of how we treat ourselves, right? So Taurus is like the money we go out and earn ourselves. Scorpio can be the money we receive or the energy we receive from other people. So we're letting go of maybe a dependence on other people and being more self-sufficient. That could be one way this square could show up. So, but it's intensive. And so this is a lot of the why of like, why has it been so hard? Like Saturn is like the old school marm with a ruler to slap your hand. It's like, wants you to learn something. And so it can be intensive lessons. It's like lessons that feel ouchy to learn. It's like, okay, we bring it to the light and realize whatever we need to see and realize about our lives is a positive thing. You're taking the high road and you can flow through these difficult transitions more easily. But it doesn't mean you're not having a, come to Jesus moment where you're having to look at behaviors, people in your life, how you're spending your daily life, right? What is it that you're wanting to let go of? What is it that you're wanting to do to add value? These are like this, that's what I see with this square going on. But Saturn can create blocks and obstacles. It says, no, you're not going to be doing that. So you may feel like you're hitting brick walls. You could feel like things are at a standstill, like all of a sudden your feet are poured in concrete. You want to make changes and you're just not feeling able to. So again, this will be shifting, but we're still feeling this, even though it's just a degree off. It's still intensive for a while. And also the nodes being at 22 degrees, 2 is about feeling, 22 is about feeling extra. It's really about plugging into your intuition, which I believe everyone has. Everyone has psychic abilities. It shows up differently in different people. Some people's volume is turned up loud and you can easily hear it, easily know when your intuition is directing you. Other people's volume is turned down or turned off. Everyone can increase their psychic abilities just with the intention of tuning in and paying attention and listening. And the number one obstacle to tapping into your psychic abilities is your mind and your feeling body, right? Feelings that get overblown, your mind with this logical, rational, this is how things should be, or what you've been told, or what you've been programmed with, or fears that come up, can be the biggest blocks to tapping into our intuitive voice, which always comes through with a beautiful, loving vibe. It's from our higher self. It's from divine energy. Our connection to the divine is our intuition. It's our GPS system when we listen to it and allow it to guide us. And it's a loving voice. Wouldn't you love to? Doesn't it feel great when? Wouldn't it be wonderful to? Like, this is the energy where if something internally is coming with it, you should do this, you need to do that. That's not intuition. That's the mind. Shoulds. I always tell people, don't should on yourself. Like, shoulds, I have to, I need to. I would transform, like, I should do this, I should do that, I need to do this. Like, okay, let's reframe and say, I want to. I should organize my closet or whatever. I want to organize my closet. You're going to have less resistance in that way because Saturn brings up resistance. So you may have to just do a little spinning it, right? A little marketing with yourself about how you spin what's happening in your life. Because if you change your perspective on it, you change your perception of what's going on, then you can embrace these challenging times, right? I always, as a Buddhist, I was trained a long time ago to look at obstacles in our life as poison to turn to medicine, or a negative situation, an obstacle to turn into a benefit, right? So when I'm challenged with a negative situation, whether it's with a relationship or something I'm up against in my own life, I'll stop and go, okay, I don't know how, but I'm going to turn this poison to medicine. I'm going to turn this obstacle into a benefit. Some things take a longer time than others, but just with that, you can begin to shift it, right? Because we're always manifesting, we're always creating based on what we believe, what we're saying to ourselves, what's coming out of our mouths in speech and talk to others, and actions that we take. So when everything's aligned with transformation and turning towards the divine and turning towards the light, we get divine help. Whereas if we're shut down and I'm going to figure this out, I'm going to do it myself, Just it's harder, right? We have these guides with us. We have angels on the other side. We have this spirit realm that wants to help us. And what my perspective has been is that power on the other side has increased. Like I've always felt like I had a council, a group of guides, and that has gotten even bigger. I feel like I've had more guides join the team, like more members of the board, so I feel like everyone has the opportunity to plug into this spirit realm and really feel supported and get clarity about guidance. And dreams have been off the chart vivid too. So another reason for this strong psychic and spiritual energy right now is the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction in Pisces. So there, right now, as I'm recording this, Neptune's at 24 degrees and 9 minutes. Jupiter's at 25 degrees and 12 minutes. So Jupiter's moved on the other side of Neptune, but these are the co-rulers of Pisces. So they're in their most potent, powerful form in Pisces, and together they just magnify the energy of what? Tapping into the divine, tapping into our spiritual center, tapping into our psychic voice. So this has been extra. I feel like we've had a great awakening on the planet. This is a once in a lifetime conjunction. We won't experience these two together in Pisces again in our lifetime. And the last time it happened was in the 1850s, right? And unless you can remember your past lives, like there is no experience of this. So, and again, we've been feeling this for a while. We'll continue to feel this energy of the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction for some time to come, right? And not only that, we've had now Venus is at 13 degrees of Pisces, and now Mars in this last week has moved into Pisces, and it's at 2 degrees. So Mars in Pisces, Mars is the god of war, right? Ruler of Aries. It's a fireball. When it moves into Pisces, it's like dropping a fireball into water, which just puts the fire out and creates steam. So all of a sudden, the planet that represents how we take action and move forward in the world is like dropped in water, and it's not at home in Pisces. It's like, what? And things can feel fuzzy and what, not be able to feel like we get the energy to put into things. We could feel extra tired, which is actually beneficial if you sleep extra, because your dreams are going to be super vivid right now. So naps, you could have vivid dreams, sleep vivid dreams, but you may just feel like, I just don't have the energy right now. Mars in Pisces. Venus in Pisces is a different story. Venus loves it in Pisces, right? She's the goddess of love. And this in Pisces is divine love. So again, here's a kiss of the divine, and being able to look at relationships with unconditional love is what Venus in Pisces is saying to us. Okay, let me go back to my notes here. Okay, so right now we have the moon in Scorpio. Tomorrow it will be going over the south node. So whatever the moon crosses, it highlights it, illuminates. And the south node again is about letting go. So it's highlighting relationships, things in our life, behaviors, patterns that we need to let go of. But Scorpio is this with other energy, what we receive from others. So it's a lot about setting up boundaries. So the moon will move over the south node tomorrow. The sun will be squaring Pluto exactly tomorrow. Mercury is conjunct Uranus right now. So Mercury is the planet of communication, and it rules our thoughts and our thinking. It is right now at 13 degrees and 34 minutes of Taurus, and Uranus is at 13 degrees and 48 minutes. So it'll be it's already conjunct Uranus, which is sudden, unexpected things. It's the great awakener. So put these two together. Mercury will be crossing over this. So you can have aha realizations in our thinking, right? Amazing breakthrough conversations. Sudden unexpected, though, is the highlight of Uranus. So things you do not expect, like conversations that come out of the blue, that take a deeper turn, right? The great awakener that make you stop and go, wow, okay. Insights, realizations can be coming with this transit. I think this is a very positive transit, even though Uranus can throw curveballs that feel disconcerting initially. It's always bringing something beneficial. Even if it knocks something down or takes something away, it will replace it with something even better. So the fact that Mercury and Uranus have come together and tomorrow it will be crossing over is this wonderful opportunity to receive earth-shattering insights is one way that could be. Really fabulous conversations, right? Unexpected is the code word. Unexpected with your thoughts, unexpected with conversations and communications of all kinds, right? So you could have text messages like, oh, wow, I heard from this person, really? Or emails or snail mail, any kind of communication, social media, someone popping into your DMs, right? And then these two are sextiling Venus, which is at 13 degrees and 33 minutes of Pisces. So this brings sextiles or positive connection. So we already have this really powerful connection between Mercury and Uranus going on. And then Venus sextiles in going, oh, let's give it a spark of divine love, right? To me, it's an opportunity to look at our relationships with unconditional love and receive unconditional love from the universe through the form of people in our lives, but just even divine. We may have these, again, amazing spiritual experiences, dreams that are just really beautiful. So I see this as a powerful realization, like our minds being blown in a positive way. I think for the most part, tomorrow, this is a super powerful day, right? Juno, which is an asteroid that represents the good wife. She was the wife of Zeus in ancient mythology, and she was committed to Zeus no matter what, right? Zeus had all kinds of other lovers and created children, and Juno stayed with him through all of that, right? She may have gone and killed the offspring of his lovers, but so she can be fiery and jealous. But in astrology, as a basic Cliff Notes version of Juno, it can represent what we look for in our committed relationships, our deeply, the ones that we want to partner with. In our birth chart, wherever Juno shows up can say a lot about what you desire in your committed relationships. The transiting Juno then brings up the issues of committed relationships and where are you at with it. So it's at 29 degrees of Aquarius. If you've been watching me for a while, 29 degree points. It's called the anaretic degree. It's when we get a final test, right? So we get this final test of Juno in Aquarius. And Aquarius is about the unique, the different, humanity, how we all vibe together. So there can be a testing point in terms of our committed relationships or our ideas around committed relationships. So Juno's at the 29 degree point. Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll move into 0 degrees of Pisces, joining the stellium party in Pisces on Wednesday. We have a lot of planets crossing signs. Of course, the biggest one is the sun being at 28 degrees of Aries, goes to 29 degrees of Aries on Tuesday or late Monday. This is the testing point, right? So again, things coming to a head. When January 6th insurrection happened, Mars was at 29 degrees of Aries. So it can really bring up this fiery, warlike energy into our lives. It's the sun, so it brings life, it illuminates. It's also an opportunity to take the high road and feel like you've mastered where your ego is towards the future. That's another way you could look at it. But it's still a testing point. The sun goes into Taurus at 9:24 p.m. That's Austin time on Tuesday evening. It'll be moving into Taurus. So then it'll be at 0 degrees. 0 degree points are wiggy because it's a whole new energy. We move out of a sign into another one. It's whoa. And 0 is boundaries, and it's power and control. Where do I wait? How do I navigate? But the sun moving into Taurus moves from a fire sign, woo, and impulsive and fiery energy into a very grounded energy. But again, the first day of any transition, any sign transitioning into a new one, at that 0 degrees, it can go, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So we've got that in a couple different places. So we've got the sun moving to 0 degrees late Tuesday evening, Juno moving into Pisces, being at 0 degrees Wednesday. We have Black Moon Lilith is also at 29 degrees of Gemini right now. Black Moon Lilith is an asteroid that represents our deep-seated fears. And again, I love to use the acronym that fears are false evidence appearing real. In Gemini, Gemini rules the head. So it can be thoughts that we've conjured up that create fear. So as again, we've got this fear asteroid, it draws out our fears so we can overcome our fears. That's the positive spin on Black Moon Lilith. But at the 29 degree point, can feel intensive because we're being tested. And then it will move into 0 degrees of Cancer, which is a feeling sign. So our feelings could feel extra exaggerated with Black Moon Lilith moving into this sign. And the sun is, let's see, the sun at 0 degrees of Taurus then is sextiling, which is a positive relationship with this Black Moon Lilith. So, but it could still amplify the fears, right? So we'll have 3 different planets or asteroids at 0 degree points midweek. So if you're midweek, you're like, what the F? Yeah, it's because all these planets are shifting signs. But the new energy in Taurus, I would invite everyone to think about the Taurus theme. So Taurus is an earth sign ruled by Venus. So our attention can go more into relationships, more into what grounds us. Again, it's how we take care of our physical bodies, how we clothe ourselves, how we move our bodies, how we feed ourselves. It's also how we store money, how we earn our income. So I see Taurus as a very creative sign. Almost always when I see highly creative people, they've got Taurus somehow prominent in their chart. Even if they have no planets in Taurus, Taurus will rule their 5th house of creativity, for example, or their 10th house of mission on this planet kind of thing. So I would look at this next season of the sun moving through Taurus beginning this week as an opportunity to maybe launch a new creative project, launch a new relationship to your physical body, a new exercise, a new spiritual practice routine, a new change in your food, shift in how you want to earn your money, how you're going to organize your time, discipline. Again, that Saturn squaring the North nodes, pulling that into that, because the North node is in Taurus, right? So there's that Taurus energy already there. So it's an opportunity to Taurus energy likes to know what the plan is, make a plan and stick to it. Like we feel better when we embrace the positive nature of the signs that we move through. I do. I suggest that you tap into that and see if you don't also enjoy setting up some new boundaries for yourself and getting out into nature. Again, Taurus rules the earth. So it's spending time, communing with nature, whether that's in front of a fire or walking in the woods or walking by the lake. Lots of that this month. And then again, it's a focus on relationships since Taurus is ruled by Venus. So what shifts and changes do you want to make in terms of your relationship? Primarily your relationship with yourself in this first decan. The sun moving to the first decan is do you value you? Are you worth your own time and energy? Are you worth shifting and changing how you spend your day and how you feed yourself and how you move your body? You deserve the best, right? So really working on that, even starting a new journaling routine where you journal every day. You write down your dreams first thing in the morning and see what they're speaking to you. This is an opportunity to create more value, to feel like you value yourself more, that you up your self-worth dial so that you're no, I don't deserve this. When you're seeing it come with behavior from others that you don't deserve, I'm setting a boundary, moving away from this person. That's a no, I'm not going to put up with that. But if you're the one dogging you, be up with that like enough of that behavior with you too. So there's an opportunity here for beautiful growth is what I see over the next month as the sun transits through Taurus. All right, so the moon will move from Scorpio into Sag by Tuesday, Sagittarius. And then it moves over the galactic center before it moves into Capricorn on Thursday. So the moon moving over the galactic center, it's like the belly button of the universe. Often things will happen on a global stage. I think that that could happen anyway with Pluto, these Pluto transits in the mix, because again, power and control. And where are we seeing that show up on the planet? Virtually everywhere, right? So I think things could come to a head in all kinds of power control situations this week. So moon into Capricorn, Uranus moves to step 14 on Thursday. So it's moving into new turf. Again, shaking up new things in our mid-decan. Again, our value, our connection with other people. Let's see what else is in my notes here. Jupiter moves to 26 on Friday. So it's moving to a new degree point. In this last decade of Pisces, which is committing to like new connection to spiritual connections. Like Jupiter makes things bigger here in this last decade of Pisces. It's really about feeling out our future. It's also about releasing karmic patterns, right? So Jupiter makes things bigger, so you can really see your karmic patterns that are working for you and the ones that need to shift. Karma is not necessarily a negative thing. Karma is like your bank account. It can be in the black or it can be in the red based on the causes that you've been setting. So if you need to shift something about the causes that you're setting, like example, you need to put more cause into connecting with your divine self, that's going to be magnified. You need to shift something. I feel like those things that you need to shift or change with all this psychic, spiritual Pisces energy, it's like, it should be really easy to see if you're plugging in. Otherwise, Pisces can be like looking through the veil, through the fog, illusion, delusion. Like if you're not trying to tap into your higher self, you can feel lost at sea and not know which way to go and be super confused, right? So it's an opportunity to tap into spiritual practices and really receive some amazing downloads and guidance and clarity, or go along with your ego self and then just be like, what? Like, I can't see, I want to sleep. Like that. Like, because every sign has positives and negatives, every planet has positive and negative. So there's an opportunity to really expand your faith, your connection to the divine this week is what I'm seeing. Again, we're moving into this portal, into the solar eclipse. It'll be in Taurus, which is again all about how do you value yourself? Are you worth it? What are you worth? Both in a literal financial way, but more, I think, on just your value as a human being. Do you value yourself? The moon is in Aquarius by Saturday, and Mercury crosses over the North Node on Saturday. So the planet of communication, again, learning something new as it crosses over the North Node. We're already having these realizations with the conjunction with Uranus right now. Like if you're on the ball at all, if you're tapping into your psychic spiritual self at all, you should receive some new downloads. And as it crosses over the North Node, it's like, okay, here's your lesson. Are you learning your lesson? Are you signing up for the next semester? Did you pass your final exam? These planets at 29 degrees this week, testing points. So we could feel tested early in the week and we could feel wiggy midweek. And then it's like, okay, yeah, no, I know where I'm going now, like getting it clear, setting those boundaries, deciding, all right, Taurus energy we can dig in, we can work hard, we can take our time. It's about persistent effort, right? Impulsive effort and action is what Aries planets are, is like, let's do it now. And then Taurus goes, wait, let's make a plan. So very lovely shift in energies. So I say this week is intensive yet transformational. That's what my signature feeling for this week is. If there's any other notes I have, I just put, in terms of the Venus and Pisces energy and all this Pisces stellium now, is It's about spiritual love. It's about loving people where they are, being able to be receiving unconditional loving, but more importantly, giving unconditional love. Can you let people be where they are, not try to change them, just send them love wherever they are? Sometimes you'd have to disconnect from people. You can still send them love, even if you don't want to have an interaction with it. So I feel like that's also a theme of this week, is like shine unconditional love on the people in your life. And that's what I see about the transits for this week. And I'll take a swig of water here. And again, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please, please, please share it with friends and loved ones. I would greatly appreciate it. Because after all, you're getting free readings. Who wouldn't want to share this, right? So we're moving on to readings for all 12 signs. I'm going to start with Aries. And for those of you who want to know, I use the Osho Zen Tarot deck. Fabulous deck. It's very non-traditional. So it doesn't have the traditional images of a traditional tarot deck, which I like. And I channel with my tarot cards. So the same card can come up, as you may have noticed if you're watching these, several times, and I might have a different spin on it every time it comes up based on what I'm getting. So we'll start with the Aries, your sun, your moon, your rising sign in Aries, or if you have a stellium of planets in Aries, what do you need to know for this week? Let's see. I'm hearing the little engine that could is Aries energy. I think I can. So I have a guide, a new guide, relatively new, coming in the last year that I actually hear, which is a new psychic development for me, because I've never like heard my guide speaking to me before. So I have a new one that I feel like is off of this shoulder that I actually hear making comments. So other times I hear it for the first time as it comes out my mouth. That's when I'm channeling. So my abilities keep growing and developing, much like musical abilities. If you practice, if you work at it, your abilities will grow and develop. Psychic abilities can grow and develop as well. You have to put attention in them though. All right, let's see what the Aries. All right, we've got the postponement card. Aries don't like to be on hold. They like to keep the moving going. But this is a lot of that Pisces energy of like maybe being too tired. It's not time yet. Again, Saturn's like, well, yeah, I know you put in a lot of effort already, but you're going to have to put in a little bit more. This could also be depression showing up. This card shows up in my private readings with people who are depressed. They feel stuck. They feel on hold. They can't put energy into something. They just don't feel it. I see this so often with creative people who aren't doing their creativity. So one of the things that you can do to shift the energy is to do something, anything creative, even if it's doing a puzzle or doing an adult coloring book, right? If you can dive into a more fulfilling creative project, practicing an instrument, gardening, cooking, painting, you name it. If it's creative, put your energy into it. It can take you out of that depression. Sometimes it feels like opening an iron door to get it moving, but just moving. Another thing to shift depressive energy is to reach out to someone else, particularly when the phone weighs 2,000 pounds and you don't want to pick it up. Do it anyway. Call and check on someone else. Put your attention on someone else. Aries can have a tendency to be self-involved, self-focused. So if you can put your attention on someone else instead of feeling sorry for yourself or how hard things are, it feels like there's a lot of victim mentality going on with the Aries. Like, why is this so hard for me? It's like, okay, well, it's intensive. And the Aries sun, at these last degrees can really be stirring up the Aries energy. Like, what do you need to do to move forward in your life? Are you doing it? Are you avoiding a big area in your life where you need to move forward? And it just feels too heavy, too much. I don't feel like it. So sometimes the postponement can be the universe saying it's not time yet. Be patient. Aries is not really familiar with patience in general. You could have other signs that really give you patience. Like I'm a triple Aries, so patience is not my virtue, but I'm a mother of 6. So I have learned patience. So just because you're Aries doesn't mean you can't learn the quality of patience, but naturally we're not so good at it. So this is about being patient with your process, being loving and kind to yourself if you feel stuck, like shooting on yourself, like you should be moving. You should be like, that's not the way to get yourself out of a stuck place, right? Call a friend, say, hey, I'm having really trouble getting motivated. Can I commit to you that I'm going to do one baby step forward today to start moving the chi, moving the energy? Moving your physical body is another way to get depression energy shifted or the postponement energy. Just walk outside your door and take a walk, like even if it's just around the block and back, right? Do your favorite exercise activities, go horseback riding, go dancing, go swimming, like whatever you like to do that you actually enjoy doing, golfing, go do that. Like if you can attach joy to physical movement, it can pull you right out of the stuck place. But this is like a lot of old karma. Again, the Pluto energies are bringing up a lot of karmic patterns. So you can feel like just steeped in old karmic patterns, right? Plugging into divine energy, you can get a refreshing breath of air and say, okay, I'm shifting this. This is enough of this stuff. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to stay stuck. I'm going to move some baby step forward. I'm going to move my chi, shift something in my environment will help shift the inner world too, right? If your environment is stuck and cluttered, chances are internally you will be too. So sometimes cleaning up your environment is a great way to get your energy flowing. That's what I have for the Aries for this week. All right, going to Tauruses. Happy birthday, Tauruses. My baby, who's going to be 19 on the 23rd of this month. Happy birthday to Rafe. Say 19 years should just fly by. My oldest is 35. 35 years flew by as well. For those of you who don't know, I have 6 children. The baby's a Taurus. They're all different sun signs, all different risings, all different moons. Little sampler platter of society. I've got the receptivity card here for the Tauruses. This is about being open to spiritual and psychic downloads. This card's been coming up a lot lately in the dailies. This is about transformation. The lotus flowers here is ruling the head. It's like, okay, transforming your thoughts about things, being open to guidance and not just being stubborn and figuring it out yourself. Tauruses like to have their own way about things, like to do it themselves. But this is like, okay, getting help and support from the universe, more being open to getting help and support from the universe. There's the water element. So it's about like, okay, maybe you need to chill in the bathtub or shower for a long time, or go swimming, or go by a water source to chill and have things flow. You'll definitely be feeling a shift once the sun moves into Taurus, moves into your sign. You can feel like, okay, it's go time. It's like most signs feel good when the sun is transiting their sign. It's just sort of like adds an extra light and spark and life to your planets. So this is a beautiful week to receive downloads, psychic insights, presents, gifts from other people, not just literal gifts, but yeah, you could get birthday presents, but you can receive presents, right? People who are in their body, who have something to offer you, something to give you in a way. So it's like, be open to receive from the universe this week, because you can have surprising gifts coming in of all sorts, spiritual gifts as well as real gifts is what it feels like for the Tauruses. All right, we'll go to the Geminis. I'm hearing loss and grief. Some of you may be working on letting go of someone that you love or something that you love. Some idea, even concepts, This feels like you're letting go of something. You're having to let go of something in your mind, which for the Geminis can be challenging because there's two of you up there, the twins. So letting go of something can be extra challenging because both minds have to let go of it. There's the Source card. This is about the sun illuminating positive things in your life. Like, where's the sun shining? You guys can have a tendency to focus on the negative or get caught up in your brain and go off on tangents. But this is about being plugged into presence for spirit. This is the sun shining in your life. This is feeling that this is good things happening for you, like looking at the high road, looking at things optimistically, feeling the warmth of source energy. This is the Source card. So this is divine energy. It's literally our sun. That's our source here in our solar system, but this is also divine power and love. If you're feeling up against a wall, if you're struggling with something, turn it over to the divine. Allow your spirit guides, your higher self, to illuminate and show you the way, right? Don't stop and struggle over it. If you're in a struggle of any kind with yourself or with someone else, stop, let go, plug into source energy, ask for guidance for the next right step, right? What's my next step do I need to take here? What do I need to do here? Listen to the promptings. It might guide you to reach out to someone. It may guide you to take a certain action or do something. If you ask, you shall receive. It's just the law of the universe here. So I feel like there should be no reason that you shouldn't feel loved and supported by the universe this week. The Source card coming up for you, the sun is shining on your life, warmth. It feels like opportunities are abundant. If you're looking at the positive, it feels like there's lots of things to be grateful for, lots of things where you can feel the warmth of source energy in your life. If you're not feeling that, if you're feeling dark and shut off, whatever, it's just a directive to get out of your mind and plug into spirit. Because this could come along with some powerful insights and realizations this week, Geminis. All right, Cancers. Little moon children. Cancers ruled by the moon. Just had the full moon. Full moon of letting go. Okay, and the receptivity card again. Opening up to spirit. Okay, so y'all are Cancers. You trine Pisces, which is a positive connection. And what do we have in Pisces? Jupiter, Neptune, Venus, Mars, and Juno will be there this week as well. So there's a whole lot of planets that are trining, which means having a positive relationship with whatever planets you have in Cancer. So be open and receptive to divine inspiration, divine messages, psychic insight, psychic awareness, gifts of love coming from other people. Receptivity card here is about receiving, right? Just being open to receive. I like to say that the job of the wide receiver in football is just to go get open. So that's your job this week, Cancers, is create the time and space to be open to spirit, not with an agenda, not with a to-do list, but like, all right, I'm willing to be guided. I'm willing to see what I need to see. I'm willing to have insights. It'd be good to be programming yourself before you go to sleep at night so that you're receiving instruction in your dreams. You're receiving insight. Your guides are talking to you in your sleep, right? Writing things down that you get, the insights, the hits that you get throughout the day. Cancers are usually very empathic, very psychic. Do you write down? Do you take note of the hits that you get throughout the day? The more you put attention to things, the more you'll receive extra insights. So it feels like you're receiving love and support from the universe this week. Make sure you're open to it. All right, that's what I get for the Cancers. Now we go to Leos. Leos are ruled by the suns. I'm hearing sun, 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 here we come. You guys get the postponement card as well. I pulled this for the Aries as well. So the fire signs apparently are having some struggle going on this week. This is feeling stuck, feeling on hold, feeling like you can't move forward, feeling depressed. Go back and listen to the Aries tape. And this will be the same message for you, because I did a lot of channeling on the Aries card on this card, and I feel like all of it would be pertinent to you guys as well. So go back and look at what I said for the Aries. Is there anything additional? No, I think I've already said it all. Don't get too steeped up or worried or tripped up if you're not feeling your best, right? This too will shift. This will change. Again, intensive times that we're in here on the universe on this planet right now. So be patient with yourself, be loving with yourself, be kind with yourself if you feel stuck. Generate some self-compassion and self-love. Listen to the Aries tape for everything else I have to say on this sign today. All right, now we'll go to Virgos. Breakthrough. Woo, it's about time, right? Like, this is a great energy. Whatever you've been working hard towards, it feels like finally there's a finishing, a culmination, a breakthrough. Like, you're finished with school, you're finished with that job, you're finished with that relationship, you're finished with that habit, that behavior, you're done. This is a powerful breakthrough. I feel like you've been listening to spirit psychic downloads, you've been following inner voice, you've been listening to its direction, and then you're getting rewarded, is what it feels like. You're breaking through an impasse. Some old karmic baggage is being let go of in a very powerful way. This feels like you may have the most transformational week you've experienced this year, if not for a long time. This feels so powerful here with this breakthrough for the Virgos. The light is shining on the inside. That's what is the impetus to break whatever's in your life. It started with a realization, a tapping into spirit on the inside, and it's shifted perspective. It's shifted belief in yourself, like you've plugged into the gigantic charger of source energy, and it's like, oh, wow, I've been trying to run on my own battery, and now all I had to do is plug into source, and then bam, it's like an electric explosion. So super powerful. Breakthrough says it all, right? Breaking through this week, Virgos. Celebration, victory, joy, like breaking through negative feelings and feeling positive, feeling optimistic, feeling happy. What a concept. You guys can be attention to detail. You get really focused and very perfectionistic, because Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which rules the head. So you can get lost in thoughts. This is nothing about thoughts. This is about feeling. It's about power of your source energy. It's about intuition leading the way. And that's the way to your breakthrough this week for the Virgos. All right, next we have the Libras. Just had the full moon in your sign. So a lot of you have been feeling that full moon personally. Did you let go of a relationship? Did you let go of a concept? Did you let go of your behavior towards relationships or a relationship? Chances are all those could be possible for the Libras this week. Source, I'm laughing because this card's already come up, like I'm getting themes here. So the source energy is plugging into source. This is the sun, is the source of our solar system. So it's getting in the sun, shining in the sun, like enjoying the warmth of the sun, getting outside, getting some vitamin D from the sun. This is plugging in spiritually, psychically to source energy, though, like not trying to do it yourself, not trying to let the ego lead, but trusting the universe will act through you. You can channel source energy if you're open to that. One of the things I started doing when I started doing psychic readings was just to affirm I'm a clear and open channel for divine source, right? And I just had that image of sliding my mind out of the way, sliding my emotional body out of the way, so I could just be a clear channel, right, for others. But this is a great exercise just to do if you feel stuck or blocked in your life and you just want to feel a flow and an extra charge and extra positive energy. This is an extra enthusiasm for life that you're feeling this week, and really feeling like, oh, the universe loves me. Like the universe is watching out for me. There's like gifts coming from the universe to the Libras this week. I feel like kisses in relationship, like you're being able to move to a place of unconditional loving people more. It's what I'm feeling with the Libras. You guys are relationship people, so you've been focusing on relationships your whole life, right? So this is about learning your lessons about, now how do I approach relationships? Oh, I approach relationships with an open heart, not expecting anything in return. Like if I just unconditionally love everyone, even the people that are challenging in my life, that it frees up my energy to be fully present to source energy. Whereas if you're carrying resentments or grudges or blocks, you shut down your own energy. You know, resentments are like ingesting poison, hoping the other person will die. So if you have a block, resentment, you can toss it up to source energy and ask for healing around it. Ask for movement in your life. Ask to have it, your heart and your mind and your psyche be unburdened by old wounds, old resentment, old grief. This is an opportunity to feel like a big shift is happening in your life. And you're like, bring it. Yes, I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling fun. I'm feeling peace. I'm feeling joy. This is like everything at its full tilt boogie this week is open and accessible to the Libras. All righty, let's move to the Scorpios. Since y'all are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto's been so intensive this week, you may specifically feel like, why me? Like, why is this so hard right now? It's like, because y'all are not being able to avoid the work that you need to do right now. That's what I'm getting with the Scorpios. Like, it's time to roll up the sleeves and just get it done. Stop avoiding things you need to shift and change in life. Plow head first into it, and you're going to feel this transformative energy. Y'all are the transformers. You're the only sun sign that has 3 different glyphs, or what's the word I'm looking for? Your planetary ruler, right? So the scorpion is the traditional one, right? Stinger on its back. Don't mess with a Scorpio because they'll sting you, right? That's a classic. Have a crusty shell. They hide under rocks. I mean, the keeper of secrets. They like to have their own space, you know. So the next totem, I guess is the word I was looking for the Scorpio, is the Phoenix. This is going through the death and transformation process. It's rising anew, a new self, right? Like the old self dying and a new self being born. A lot of y'all in the middle of this process does not feel good to be going through this kind of death and transformation, right? It does feel good when you go through the transformation part. The death part, when you have to die to a certain aspect, behavior, energy that you've been generating, and like surrender to something new, surrender to a divine energy, can be challenging. You don't give up power control easily, Scorpios. But when you do, when you give your power over to the divine, it feels empowering. You're not losing power. You feel more powerful, not in an ego way, but feel spiritually filled up. And then the third totem is the eagle, which flies above everything and has an objective perspective, can pull away from your life and see from a higher realm. So that's all the potentiality that the Scorpions have, the Scorpios have. Where are you? Which totem accurately reflects where you are in your life, right? If you're feeling some of the transformational energy, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing the work you're supposed to be doing. Are you already there where you're getting perspective on your life? Awesome, bravo. If you're still the Scorpion stinging people and hiding under rocks, you've got some work to do. That's what I say for that. The burden card is coming up for the Scorpio. So this is definitely feeling heavy, feeling like, oh, it's extra hard. You're carrying somebody else's weight. You may literally be having to care for someone else, or carrying the extra work. You're taking care of a child, you're taking care of a partner, taking care of a sick loved one, an elderly parent. This is like feeling bogged down by too much on your plate, right? Some of it You could probably avoid by not saying yes to things that you don't really feel called to doing. Other things you just are like karma. You can't get out of it. So how do you spin your attitude so you don't feel burdened in your mind, in your heart, in your emotional body? So this is about lifting your spirits ultimately. Like, how can you get out of feeling burdened? How are you spinning the situation you're dealing with to yourself? Like, are you repeating, oh, this is such a painful austerity, right? This really sucks. I hate this. Are you complaining and being negative about it? Or you're saying, what today do I feel guided to do with this situation that feels overwhelming and just feels heavy in my life, right? This could be something you're placing on yourself. This could be an addiction where you're creating extra burden for yourself and you know it. You just can't seem to shift your behaviors. Plugging into a 12-step program, getting support from the universe, literally from other addicts who are suffering with whatever your addiction is. I guarantee you, whatever you're addicted to, if you're weighed down by your addictions, there's other people who are recovering from those addictions that can be such a lifeline of support. You can take your stuff to therapy and talk it out. A good friend that can give you great insight and can listen to you. I feel like you need to unburden yourself somehow this week, writing in a journal, writing down the things that are causing you pain and suffering in your life and burning them in a fire. Like, do some sort of ritualistic release of these burdens. And you can also then get insights into what to do to take action to shift the painful, whatever is weighing on you that's heavy. It could be grief that's heavy, right? How do you clear the grief up? Taking that into prayer, asking for insight and guidance to be, able to let go of the grief and sorrow around someone who's left your life. There could be all ways that this can show up in different ways for different Scorpios, but it feels like you need to address something this week. Like, turn it over, ask for insight and guidance, and take the next right step to unburden yourself, whether it's a physical burden, a literal burden, an emotional burden, a mental burden. It's time to unburden yourself, time to turn it over, get some help. All righty, we'll go to the Sagittarius are next. Sagittarius. We got the postponement card showing up again. This is like coming up again. So this is a block and stuck energy. This has come up for all the fire signs. So this came up for the Aries. It came up for the Leos. I suggested the Leos go back and listen to the tape about the Aries. I'm saying the same thing here for the Sagittarius. So it seems like fire signs are feeling stuck and blocked in creativity, feeling some depression, not feeling your fiery selves. So go back and listen to this tape I did today on the Aries. There was a lot coming through for the Aries, and obviously it's meant for all fire signs since all three of the fire signs pulled this card. It happens like that sometimes. So the fire signs are all trying each other. So whatever is going on with one fire sign can usually be felt with the other fire signs. It's usually why fire signs get along well with each other, because you're usually working on similar issues at the same time. Like, there's a camaraderie of spirit with the Sagittariuses and Leos and the Aries. So y'all are all simpatico this week with the cards, all drawing the same card. So go listen to the Aries tape. You can check that below. It'll speak to you as well. All right. Now we'll move to the Capricorns. And this card's come up 3 times as well, the source card. Geez Louise, it's a triple card week. Source energy. This is about plugging into the divine. It's not trying to do it yourself. It's not plodding through. I can do this for, like, Capricorns are hard workers. You also kind of be stuck in your egos, right? You can, like, I'll do it myself. Power and control, right? Pluto is in your sign right now. This is about turning things over to source energy. This is the divine operating through you. This is not great ideas. It's not great inventive plans. It's not you getting power and control and making a decision. This is about you receiving insight and guidance from the divine. This is the sun. It's getting out in sunshine. It's getting some vitamin D sun as well. Like, you know, make sure you step outside. Are you getting enough outside time? How much screen time are you doing? Are you getting enough of the natural elements in your life? The source energy says, come to the sun, come outside, breathe deeply, take a walk, take a run, get outside in nature, feel the warmth of the sun, feel the warmth of spirit in your life, which means plugging in beyond your ego, beyond your thoughts and feelings to a divine source, receiving insight and inspiration and the joy that comes from spiritual connection. You know, the image of the laughing Buddha, right? It's like tapping into divine energy can feel ecstatically joyful. That's what this energy can bring. Do you feel ecstatically joyful, Capricorns? If you don't, you're probably trying to draw and do everything yourself, right? Try to turn over to source energy and receive some support from your spirit guides, from your higher self. More flow happens in your life when you're incorporating a spiritual connection. Are you creating time to meditate? Are you creating time to chant, to pray, to just sit with the divine? Are you up and running first thing in the morning? Most Capricorns I know have a to-do list a mile long. They're plodding away, working hard working. You do what you say you're going to do. But is it all work? Are you just going from one task to another, to another, to another? Are you pausing to connect with spirit? That's what I would suggest this week for the Capricorns. Aquarius is okay. This is the fourth time this card's come up now. And when this happened a few weeks ago, and I kept drawing the source card, we had extra explosions coming from the sun. So that may also be going on this week with this card coming up now for the fourth time. There can be, you know, this energy of sun flares, solar flares coming. But this is the source of all life force. In our galaxy, it's the sun, right? So this can be a call to step out into sunshine, to get outside. But this is also about plugging into just spiritual source energy, like getting out of your brain, getting out of your emotional body, and plugging into source. Are you doing your meditation practice? Are you doing your chanting? Are you doing your prayer time? Are you spending time communing with the divine and receiving the rays of the sun in a spiritual way, right? Spirit is joyful. Spirit is peaceful. Spirit is powerful. Spirit is magnificent. Do you feel these energies in your life? If you do, that means you're plugging into spirit. You're tapping into that. If you're not feeling this energy, if you feel like you're struggling and caught up in the dredges of life, just a simple breather, like just to stop and breathe deeply for even 5 minutes can shift your whole day. The more time and energy you put into spiritual practices, the bigger the benefit. People like, I don't have time to meditate. I don't see how people don't have time for it, because your life gets in a better flow when you carve out the time to meditate. I meditate every single day without exception, usually at least an hour a day. Sometimes I go in for second or third doses of spirit time because I operate from a spiritual center. When I do my work, I have to be plugged into spirit. If I'm plugged into my ego, I wouldn't give good readings, right? So I'm suggesting that you plug into your spiritual center so you can access that intuition that you Aquarians have very strongly. Y'all are usually tapped in intuitively, but you can get, you know, your own mind, I'm going to do it myself, can pull you off the rails, right? So tap into spirit, tap into source energy, allow the flow and the power of the universe to work through you for others. this week, Aquarians. All right, and then we'll go to the Pisces. So it's a party in Pisces with all the planets in Pisces. Are you feeling it? Y'all can probably feel these things in exaggerated form. You're feeling extra drawn to spiritual practices, extra drawn to psychic hits and illuminations, or you're like, caught up in addiction and illusion, delusion, really feeling the worst of things, right? Pisces are two slippery fish. The upper fish is the spiritual higher road, the consciousness of tapping into source energy. The lower fish is like dredging along the bottom, like getting stuck in the world of illusion and delusion and addiction and foggy thinking, and just, I can't have the energy to move forward, right? So have to plug into source energy to be able to take the high road. But it's so ample right now. If you guys as Pisces aren't plugging into the spiritual psychic source energy, really, I don't feel any other time that's going to be as easy as it is to do now. Like, if your strong will is overriding your connection to spirit, stop it. Stop, drop, and open is what I would say. And here's the healing card coming up for the Pisces. So I think some of you are dealing with some fear, like afraid to dig into some of the stuff that needs to heal, like whether it's an addictive pattern you're caught in, codependency you're caught in. Pisces, y'all can whine, y'all can complain, y'all can feel victimized by the universe or someone else. This is about getting out of the victim world, being healed, allowing the universe to heal the parts of you that feel wounded, feel raw, feel not able to function in this world. You can receive a powerful healing this week just by plugging into source energy, asking other people for prayer as well. Like, I need some healing work, putting yourself in the hands of healers. Get on a massage table, acupuncture table, chiropractic table, Reiki table, receive energy, healing energy from others. Like, you don't have to do everything yourself. You can receive help, but you can receive help without feeling so whiny too. Like, I can just hear some of the inner voice going on for some of you Pisces. It's like, geez, if you heard it in a loudspeaker coming back at you, some of the thoughts that you get trapped up in, you'd want to turn it off immediately. Pay attention to your inner realm. What are you generating within your system? What kind of thoughts are going down? What kind of feelings do you have about yourself? Primarily about the people in the world around you, about life in general. Do you feel hopeful and optimistic that you can heal your dis-eases, that you can transform and change karmic patterns? You can, if you believe it. You don't believe it and you just keep whining, you're going to stay stuck in it. That's no way to live. So take the high road, Pisces. Tap into that spiritual healing energy that's available for you today, this week. All right, that's what I have for all 12 signs. If you've watched this whole thing all the way through, and I know some of you do, thank you very much for your long attention. Have a great, powerful, transformative week. Peace.